Hello everybody, it's me again. Today we talk about camera instead of talking about cars, right? Every time we talk about cars. Another interest of mine is actually camera. I like to play with cameras and all this tech. Only thing no money to buy any. And I'm actually a full-time photographer. And now let's talk about the Canon 70D. Alright, 70D. Okay, now you must be wondering, why are we talking about camera which is like 7 years ago? Why we are trying to go back time 2014. I feel maths. Why interesting? Because 7 years ago when Canon introduced the dual pixel autofocus system, right, I think the 70D is one of the first few who actually had it. It really blows everything out of the water in terms of video autofocus. Some of you might be wondering, right, if let's say you are looking to buy a DSLR now, maybe you save enough money 7 years later now, you have like a few thousand ringgit to spend, and then you are keen on DSLR rather than mirrorless. Okay, right now is the Canon 70 still worth buying in 2021 in 2021, where mirrorless camera has now been dominating the market really. Everywhere you see, every brand, every major brand except for Pentax but every major brand, they are actually moving to mirrorless already. Is it like you're crazy or something if you buy a DSLR which is 7 or 8 years old? You can get one, I think, around 1,400 ringgit or slightly lower or something, which is actually still considered a bit on the high side considering it's bygone already I mean, sooner or later, if you like it or not, people are forced to go into mirrorless If you really want to preserve DSLR type of thing, the only hope you can still rely on is Pentax They are more like Nokia, right? Okay, never forget about Pentax. Alright, now we're talking about Canon 70D. Okay, for that price, right, you pay now second hand, third hand, fourth, fifth, 15, 16 hand, you actually get access to Canon's revolutionary dual pixel autofocus system, right? Okay, this is actually a great autofocus system for video, Alright, why I say that? Because I bought a A7 II, okay, A7 Mark II with a 50mm 1.8, hoping, very high hope that the autofocus will be very brilliant, very snap-on, because they are promoting their hybrid face detect, contrast, hybrid autofocus and all. But I was quite disappointed because it's actually not as good as what Canon has to offer at this price point and at this package Now, why I say that is because I know some people will say, "Are you using the wrong lens?" Okay, that's only the only lens I can afford, the 50mm 1.8, right? It cannot be that bad, right? It's constantly hunting and all. Yeah, you can see all when the hybrid autofocus system is working, right? They don't fail to show you with all the moving around, blinking. But the video, the autofocus is keep on going forth and back. All right. And all this, of course, is shot at 1.8 so the camera is having a hard time tracking and all forgivable. But I mean, it's quite a new camera compared to this senior citizen here. I was actually quite disappointed and I sold it off. Maybe I should rob a bank and buy a G Master or something So that out of the way. Right, this is just to illustrate what I experienced. Okay, personally, I am actually not a very techy person and all. Right, some people might say, "Hey, you set it wrong you didn't actually do the setting properly Okay, I did what I am supposed to do. I use I activate. I don't know whether is there such thing as you need to activate the hybrid autofocus. If let's say that's the selling point of it, why you disable it if it's so good? So I believe it's on the hybrid autofocus. You can see all the thing blah, 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 in your face, right? All the small boxes, blah 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 blah. And on continuous autofocus, face tracking, all those is on, but it still tracks. It still hunts sometimes. It doesn't stay there. Okay, it doesn't it doesn't do like what the Canon does. The Canon doesn't hunt. It will straight to wherever you are. So let's say it misses, it will it knows where you are right? When you go further, it actually tracks you moving away, tracks you coming back in. It doesn't do like what, especially Nikon, okay, the D750, right? You can see, right, how it hunts, it tries to reconfirm. Hey, I confirm confirm or not confirm or not confirm or not, every time confirm or not confirm or not confirm or not confirm. You can see the video like I'll focus and defocus, focus and defocus to reconfirm, you know. We are not talking about price point lah for 1.4 thousand, 1.4K also. I mean now times I mean it's getting older and older by day, so the best deal you can get is the best value you can have lah. Because if you compare to like what 1.4K ringgit, what can you get besides the A7, the original A7, which is like what also about what 1,000 something, 2,000 if you can get a very real bang up one. What else? Nikon, what they offer from Nikon, D3300, 3400, which is also about what 2K, 1 point something 2K, and I believe the autofocus is not here yet lah. I mean they upgraded a lot with their video autofocus. I mean it's still no match for Canon's dual pixel at that time lah. At that time and at this time when we are poor lah. Again, what I'm trying to say is if you are a person who have a big amount of budget but you're trying to save, you're trying to like cut costs, or you're trying to stinge on it, this is not a camera for you, okay? You will be very, very disappointed. This is a camera for poor fat like me, okay, who are actually looking into going into photography, and I prefer to use DSLR, and I prefer maybe because I like Canon, and of course also money is the main thing lah. Money is the main thing lah, not one of the thing that if let's say we can save on is no, this is the main thing is money. And looking at the price now, right, is the cheapest option lah. It's the cheapest ticket lah to go into Canon's dual pixel autofocus system, okay? So it's in my opinion, it's one of the best in my opinion lah, because I don't have the privilege to test every camera lah, okay? But what I've tested is okay, the D610 I've tested, that one don't talk about it at all. That one is really useless lah. For video autofocus it's useless. For photography, that one is good for photo quality and all. Dynamic range is great, everything is great for also for a dinosaur ear camera, D610, D600. Mainly now we're talking about videography, because this, if you talk about photography, right, forget about this camera lah, come on. If there's no other reason that you really need a Canon 70D for photography, right, if you're like still looking for, if you're like looking for, you are open for any brand, right, by far this is not a camera for photography lah. You can get better image quality even with a Pentax K30 lah. But bear in mind there's a pros and cons. This one, even if in the photography segment is not that impressive, but the autofocus is there lah, the selling point lah. The autofocus is great lah, this, even though it's a dinosaur ear camera. Okay, so okay, let's have a look at some of the pros lah. The pros, this camera, if let's say you are a vlogger, okay, you are a vlogger, you started vlogging, or you wanted to go into vlogging, you saw videos like Casey Neistat or running around with the camera and shooting everything that they see and all interesting things. I mean, this is suitable for that because it's actually more of a run and gun camera. There's not much setting you can do, nothing like this. Just choose your aperture, choose your ISO, everything. You see the screen, oh okay, bright enough, then your frame rate, everything 25p, 1080, 25p. Okay, then you are good to go already. You said, oh, you just run and gun everything. You just run and gun, blah, blah, blah. You just use the autofocus for everything. Even if you're shooting yourself, you just rely on the autofocus. You don't have to do like full focus or all those type of things lah. This is more of a camcorder, run and gun everything. Only thing you get the privilege of using of an APS-C sensor rather than 1 inch if you get a camcorder or something lah. But the autofocus is somewhere there already lah, or maybe better lah, because it's cheating lah. Camcorder is actually cheating because they're using smaller sensors, so it's like even if it's slightly out of focus because of the depth of field, we can still see it's a focus lah. But like this one, if you use a 1.4 or 1.8 lens, right, it does the work lah. It really tracks lah. It tracks a lot. It tracks the subject even though with 1.8 or something lah. I haven't tried 1.4 because I cannot afford 1.4 or 1.2, but 1.8, 50mm, and this is the 17 to 55mm f2.8, and it does the job properly lah. It tracks you, it follows your face everywhere you go. Okay, up to date, right? It's still one of the best autofocus system lah. That period of time is actually one of the best you can have lah. Dual pixel, Canon's dual pixel is one of the best autofocus system you can have that time. Before, I think Olympus came out with their height
for video autofocus lah. I think that time was already mirrorless era already, alright. I think what the OMD or something, they are bragging about their autofocus system, and then Panasonic came with their autofocus system also. They're bragging with their GH4 at that time. But before that, right, I think it's the 70D, who really cracks the video autofocusing, blows everyone out of the water, right, that time. Even Sony that time was like the 6000 or A6000 or something. The next one is the great selection of lens support lah. This is actually a blessing, because if you came from Pentax or even Sony at that time it's like you are only been served roti canai. You can only eat roti canai or roti telur only. But once you come into Canon's world, Canon or maybe Nikon, you went into a buffet, a buffet dinner with all. You can choose sushi lah, you can choose Western lah, char kway teow lah, yong tau fu lah, everything, The amount of lenses you can have, I mean, of course, one thing is price lah. Sony they don't have lens, but the lens how much or not. So the lens is sometimes more expensive than the camera itself, so that time is unreachable. But thanks to third party and all, with Tamron, Sigma, everything, Canon and Nikon really opens up a lot of possibility lah, and then it also opens possibility to empty your account faster also. Great selection of lenses, right? It's a blessing. If you came from Sony, if you came from Pentax, right, it's a blessing. If you see all the Muda, you go Carousel, you see wow, all the 50mm 1.8 lah, Sigma also got. What you want? Tamron, Sigma, now also Yongnuo also got. Wow, really. And then price okay lah, 600-700 800 for normal 50mm 1.8. Then you got your Sigma 1750 17 to 50mm model f2.8 lens, all those like about 1,000 or maybe 900 bucks, so you can get. Wow, really is a blessing, okay, to have so many choices of lenses, right? Of course, it's interchangeable lens, so it's almost like future proof lah. If let's say you are not planning to go into mirrorless or something, or maybe if let's say you only had that budget and then you're not sure whether you are gonna make it or not lah, your YouTube channel like me, I don't know not sure whether I can make it or not lah. But you can change to other type of thing. You can, alright, let's say now you are a vlogger, you like to shoot yourself, alright, in the face. You get a wide angle lens, like maybe a 1755 is not wide enough. You can still get like 11 or something, like 11 to 22 or something like that. I don't know lah. There's a lot lah, wide angle, a lot lah. 1635 or 1614 or 40 or something lah. All those things lah. A lot of choices lah. A lot of choices you can get. More of scolding people. You like to paparazzi, you get a 70 to 200. You can get even longer lah, 100 to 400 Tamron or something lah. That one if you want to wildlife, or you like to film animal having sex or something. Right. This one is also a blessing. The flip out screen. Alright, this is one of, sometimes I don't understand. I mean, of course, because of the structure and all, not every camera nowadays they actually provide this flippy screen here. But at that time, right, not many choices you have lah. That is dual pixel autofocus and with flip out touch screen lah. Alright, so this is also a perfect thing for you if you like to shoot yourself. You can actually pull out the screen and look at yourself lah. Alright, and then of course the battery life is relatively good lah. It's a DSLR battery life lah. What do you expect? It's not a Sony mirrorless battery life type of thing. This is a professional grade battery. I think it's shared with Canon 5D Mark II or something one. So it's professional grade lah. That means it's more lasting than usual lah. Even though if let's say not last, you can actually get cheap, all this very cheap now, third party also about 60 ringgit, 70 ringgit or something. You can get tons of it lah. Just if you are shooting whole day, right? I mean, it's cheap lah. Alright, let's talk about the cons. Alright, cons. Like I said before, it's not ideal if you're looking for a camera mainly for photography. Okay, photography out of the mind. Okay, why? Some people say, nah lah, photography also very good, the 70D. Yes, it's good back then.
but not as good as a 71,000. I mean 71,000 what? 7,100 Nikon. Not as good. Not even as good as a Pentax K5 Not as good as a Pentax K3. At that time K3 that time K5 2S. Sony A6000 if that's the same era lah. Now the reason is because of the technology with Canon sensor lah. I mean, I read somewhere, or from my small little brain knowledge, Canon has been doing their own sensor, right, since 70D, 60D, all those era lah, 600D, the 750, 700D, all those. That's why you see there's the similarity of the Canon's 18 megapixel sensor lah, across the range. It's actually backwards compared to like Sony's technology lah. That time Sony has been making sensor for Nikon, for Pentax, for quite a number of cameras out there. So they have the volume, and they can do their research, and they manage to sell all these sensors to all these other brands, all these other camera makers lah. So that's why Sony at the time was in terms of sensor technology is actually ahead of Canon at the time. So therefore not so good dynamic range and low light capability lah. Back then also not that great or not that good. Now it's even worse lah. Okay, if let's say you talk about photography and all, even video also is same lah. You don't gonna shoot this thing we had 6400 ISO for video lah. I mean ideally lah, if you have to lah, but otherwise if you can outdoor, you don't even go past 400 800 lah, I think for the f2.8 lah. Alright, the usual DSLR video recording limit also lah, same lah. DSLR they have the recording limit 30 minutes lah. This one, even if you buy the newer ones, I think they still have the 30 minutes, unless you buy camcorder, then you can record until the memory card is full or the battery is empty lah. No slow-mo, okay, this one is big deal for some people. Some people couldn't even give a toilet about this, right? No 4K, no slow-mo, limited frame rate. That means you only got like the main view, 1080 25p or 1080 50i or something, or 720 with 60p or something, all those lah. So you stick to the normal one lah, the standard one lah. You don't have like 120 slow-mo or something, or maybe 4K 60 or 4K 25 or no lah. The maximum is full HD lah, 1080 lah. This one is, just say you don't care so much about those, you are okay with it. Your workflow is more, you normally record 1080, then you upload 720 because your internet is still using Streamix or something lah. So for those who are budget constrained, okay, now I'm talking about poor fact like me and not those rich upper class herlangs. So no 4K, okay, might become okay, then it might become worthless, right? A few years down the road, or maybe in future lah, very soon it become worthless. So you become a very expensive paperweight lah. That also you might need to consider when you are buying this camera. Don't expect it to be able to sell it in a good price next time. Be prepared to just save it lah, or use it as a hammer or something lah. I mean, you won't be fetching any better price in the future lah. When you see all the mirrorless price drop, everything, and people moving into mirrorless, there's no point of getting this camera already lah. If let's say there's another better offer to go into Canon's dual pixel autofocus lah. So that one you have to consider. You might become rubbish, you might become garbage in the future, right? Worthless, hard to sell, right? Maybe you need to pay someone to buy from you also. Okay, this is just my personal thoughts, right? It's one of the, I don't know lah, for me I think it's the cheapest and the best way to get into Canon's legendary dual pixel autofocus. Why I keep on harping on the dual pixel autofocus is because it's worth harping on. It's actually that good. It does what it does lah. It tracks, it everything's like it's smooth, it tracks smoothly and all. So it's a good plus if you are doing all this type of work lah. Okay. And if you are a person looking for like short vlog, basic video, vlogging, run and gun, shooting anything, like you see anything, you just on and just shoot. This I think will be good lah. It's almost similar to a camcorder, but the difference is a bigger sensor and you can change your lens to longer lens or something lah. So it's a plus. Okay, depending on the budget lah, you can go for best lens, or I mean you save that amount, you go for better lens lah. You don't mind investing on more expensive lens, better lens, because lenses you can actually bring along with your upgrades.
In the future, maybe you upgrade to a mirrorless. By that time, you can get an adapter for it or something lah. So lenses, you can splurge a bit lah. Lens, plenty of lens out there. Don't worry. Sigma, Tamron, Yongnuo. Now Yongnuo is in the game. Everything a lot. So many choices. Don't have to worry about choices for lens. Okay, like I said before, not ideal if you are buying this mainly for photography. If you are looking into photography, wedding or whatever, you don't mind going for other brands and all. It's not ideal lah, unless if you have any certain reason to get a Canon 5D. To get a Canon 70D, like maybe you have a good offer from your brother or something. Maybe you find a very very good deal or something. It's still okay, it's still capable for photography. Doing photography is good. No complaint compared to a Nikon D610 in low light situation. The Nikon really struggles a bit. So what I found helpful is use continuous autofocus and spray and pray get a few shots. For sure there's a few that's in focus for the Nikon. I'm talking about Nikon. If you want it to confirm, it takes ages. The fella will not sure. Who am I? What am I doing? Am I cooking? Am I baking pies or something? What I find the Canon is more snappy there. Sometimes it takes longer, but it reaches there and it goes. Alright. The difference is there This is especially in low light situation for outdoor bright. If let's say the place is bright, no issue Even any camera also no issue Even the Pentax also no issue for well lit place Low light means like wedding reception and all all your tungsten yellow light and all. Those lights that you spend 3 hours inside, you come out, you see everything yellow one. Where now? Alright, too much already. Talk too much already. So sorry guys. Talk too much already. Okay, final thoughts Here's the thing, right? This video is actually not about telling you guys to buy the 70D, alright? To telling you guys that the 70D beats every camera at this price range or this at this time now. It's actually a recommendation and also some thoughts that you can put into your consideration when you're shopping for one, and what are the good points and what are the reason you want to buy a 70D. Okay, so to put it very simple, price to value. Okay, now you're looking for a camera for vlog, for your whatever, for your run and gun and everything. Okay, not a filmmaker type, not you want artistic and all everything. No, for run and gun, you just want something to bang around, rugged bang around, vlogging and all. Alright, like you found a deal. Your brother wants to sell his set, or maybe you found somewhere Muda, Carousel, everything, selling for 2,200 for a set of with the 1755 and then with the 70D with 1755, 2,500. For me, I think it's very worth it. Okay, just the lens alone is already worth it. Okay, the lens is about 1,000, 2,004 now, so just for the lens. So it's very worth it for the combination. Even if let's say you can get the camera for 1,000 ringgit or something at that point now at this time, July 2021, it's actually a good deal at the moment. If let's say you can get it for 1,000, because market is selling about 1.4 so if you get 1,001, 1,002 is still considered very good because you get the cheapest option you get into the dual pixel autofocus system. Alright, so it's a very good deal if let's say you can manage to get it at a good price. But let's say you are looking for one that is like about 1,008 or 1,007, then it's not a good deal at all, because you just need to add a little bit more. Then you can get the 200D Mark II, which is 4K, everything, the latest tech you have, the latest processor, digit 8 or something, better tech, better everything than this even the sensor, everything, even though this is almost a pro level camera, mid-range to pro level, and the 200D is actually entry level, but because of technology and all, it's better than this. Alright, and then of course this is for budget constraint. You have a budget, alright, you really don't want to splash, or you have that amount, or you beg your mom, you beg your dad, or you manage to earn this much or something, and you want to go into vlogging or all, and that's the amount you can spend, and you try to get the best value out of it. Alright, maybe this is one thing you can consider You can consider about this. You can just consider, put in your price, your buying list and all, and see whether is it suitable for you. One of the things you can put it in your radar right.
rather than blindly join the crowd, like, or people say mirrorless, you go for mirrorless, and then you end up like, why battery life sucks lah. You get a mirrorless, but your lens is don't know what lens 1855 but there's variable aperture lah. So every time you zoom in, your video go crazy dark, bright dark, like don't know what the hell happened. So it's constant aperture is best lah. If you get for video, even you zoom in, zoom out, you still maintain the brightness and your aperture lah. So that is to be considered. All right, and then of course don't expect to have to resell it next time in future, because it's gonna be worthless. All right, I can foresee it's gonna be worthless lah. Even maybe worth about 500 ringgit, something like that. No point buying already. People like no point buying already. All right, and then of course, if this is for people who like, you are from using your phone now, every time you're using a phone, right, or even a GoPro lah. GoPro also is getting very good already now. Even the latest version, sensors are getting slightly bigger. If we are talking about like this China GoPro or what, with the very tiny small little sensor where you only can shoot in the daytime, at night you can actually keep it in the bag and use your phone. That type of person, then mainly you are a pro fact like me, who doesn't have a lot of money to spend on all this new tech, maybe it's a good choice for you. Okay, you can consider, you can put in your radar. You're using phone like, or maybe you're using phone like Xiaomi phone or those lower range. Don't come on, if you're using an iPhone 12 or Samsung S21 or something high range, your Huawei P don't know 9,000 or what 28,000 then no point lah. Don't look at this lah. You use your phone lah. Your phone is much better, okay, to be honest. With all the high-tech things and all, with all the software, high-tech everything, you can actually maybe you can produce better quality video with your phone than this. But if you're somebody who is using like a mid-range entry-level Xiaomi, Mi something Note Mi or something, what Huawei, what don't know what lower range phone, right, then maybe it's a good consideration. You can put it in your radar. You don't have to decide. You can just put it in your radar, play around with it, test around, and if you come across a good deal, then maybe you can consider about it. Alright, I guess that's about it. Sorry for yapping too long, also keeping you so long. If it's good enough for Casey Neistat for so many years, right, during his vlogging days and all, a few years ago it will be good enough for us who are just looking for a simple rugged vlogging camera, or even a point and shoot camcorder style camera. All right, okay, thank you so much everybody. So sorry for keeping you guys so long. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you learned something from this video, or maybe make you even more confused now than before and don't even know what to buy now lah. All right, so thank you so much. Subscribe if you want to support my small little channel. It would be appreciated if you can subscribe. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day. Stay safe during this period. See you guys again next time. Bye.